Yeah, so there's so much about the Mar-A-Lago story that people need to know, because I'm sure, shocker, the media wasn't telling you the truth, and they certainly weren't giving Donald Trump the fair coverage that he deserved. Now, the lawfare against him was unfounded, unprecedented. It never should have happened. I don't believe they had probable cause. I lay out the case for you in the book. I've got text messages, emails, communications with DOJ and the FBI, all leading up to the raid, and you can decide for yourself, was it appropriate for them to raid Mar-A-Lago? And I think the strong conclusion anybody who's looking at this objectively will come to is no, there was no probable cause, there was no legitimate reason, and they had to manufacture a case that they were trying to bring in Washington, D.C. I think a lot of people forget that. This Mar-A-Lago case was never intended to be in Florida. When I testified before the grand jury, I went to Washington, D.C. Why? Because they were trying to bring a case against Donald Trump in D.C. This is all a part of that ongoing conspiracy that they started in 2015, 2016, where they were manufacturing evidence that Tulsi Gabbard has recently released. It's all a continuation of that. And I think people forget about the D.C. component of this and how they were trying to pigeonhole this case into some sort of Hillary Clinton email scandal espionage type case that they could charge here in D.C. And they never got the evidence. They couldn't find anything. I mean, I know that you can indict a ham sandwich. Everybody knows that. And they couldn't even find enough to indict Donald Trump in Washington, D.C. That's how bad this case was. So they had to pivot down to Florida and make up some obstruction of justice case that never mattered and they knew was never going to go anywhere. But they had to do it to cover their rear end for what they did on the raid on Mar-A-Lago.
Christine, a quick answer, please. It's a couple of things I think we need to refresh the folks' memories. The FBI, did they really go through Melania's personal closet, her intimate closet, whatever that may be? And number two, we saw that they staged a photo op of documents that they spread out on the floor and took a picture of it when they were never out that way. They were in a box. Both of those still true?
Yeah, I mean, the photo was completely staged. It was faked. And I believe that it was cover sheets that they carried in with them. And yes, they did search the residence.